Okay. Hello, artists. Welcome back to class. This week, my painting and my drawing students will have two different projects. So normally you guys are doing the same kind of project. Sorry about that. Had an announcement real fast. We're going to pick up where we left off. My students from my painting and my drawing classes this week, you guys have different projects. Normally you guys have the same. So if you are my painting class, you are in the wrong class. This is going to be projects for my drawing students. Okay. Painting class, your video is on the other link. Make sure you follow that link. Okay. So to begin, we're going to go ahead and look over our packet for class this week. Let me pull it up, drawing class only. Here we go. All right. So this week we are going to be working in realism, okay? Realistic artwork. Now, I don't want this to be intimidating for you guys. I know it can be. A lot of people aren't comfortable drawing in or realistic style, but you guys are gonna have 2 weeks to complete this project. So try not to stress about it. Don't get yourselves all worked up. You're gonna basically be recreating a realistic image of your favorite animal, okay? So we're gonna cover it a little more in our Bellwork. We're gonna go over our 3 favorite animals. And at that point, you guys are gonna decide which animal you wanna draw. And we're gonna go ahead and move forward with the project, okay? Students are going to basically recognize and understand the relationship between texture and value in this project, okay? So we've worked with texture a little bit in the past. You're going to have a couple of similar things that you're going to be working on in this project. And you're going to also, these final projects have to be colored, okay? I want color for them. Students are going to demonstrate their ability to create an image based on realism and focusing on the texture of different animals, okay? So we'll go ahead and move down here. Here's some vocabulary for you guys to understand and know. It is available in your guys' packets. Make sure you read them. Make sure you understand what the different terms mean, okay? Okay, first one, we've covered this before. Texture refers to the surface quality in a work of art, okay? Everything has some type of texture. We can describe things as being rough or being smooth, silky or shiny, fuzzy, furry, and so on and so forth, okay? Some things feel just as they appear, and that is called real or actual texture. Color is the element of art that is produced when light hits an object and then reflects back into our eye. So that's what we are seeing. Hue refers to the origin of colors that we can see. So primary and secondary colors, this is reds and orange, violet, purple, blue. These are all considered hues. These are the colors we can see and that are on our color wheel, okay? Tone refers to the relative lightness or darkness of a color. So the tone of a color is how light or how dark a color is. Shade, or I'm sorry, tint refers to any hue or color, mixture of colors to which white is added. Or in, so if you add white to a blue, you get a light blue. This is creating a tint. It's a tinted blue, okay? Shade is a hue or mixture, so a color, to which only black is added. So if you have green and you add black to it, you get dark green, and that is a hue, and that is a shade of a hue, okay? That is dark green becomes the shade of the hue, okay? Value defines how light or dark any given hue can be. They're best understood when visualized in a scale or a gradient. So we've done the value scales before, just in black and white. They can also be done in color, okay? And we're gonna discuss that a little bit more going through. And color theory is when you combine colors on the color wheel and create different colors and create secondary colors by combining the different colors and making them recognizable. It's a critical skill for artists and designers and anybody who's doing anything with color, okay? So we've discussed texture a lot in this class, but we're gonna explore it a little bit more And I want you guys to now fully demonstrate your skill and your understanding of texture, okay? So you will be creating a realistic picture of your favorite animal. This will provide you with a good practice in creating different textures, practicing your shading and value, and experimenting with different techniques, okay? In this packet, we will look at some images of different textures, and you're gonna draw a few before you begin on your final project. So just as a reminder, what is texture? It's the surface quality of art, okay? So smooth or rough, it's visually what we're gonna see. So here's our project outline, okay? We're gonna quickly run through this, discuss your worksheet, and then we're gonna finish talking about the project, okay? So realistic animal drawing, worth a total of 40 points. Students are gonna recognize and understand the relationship between texture and value, and working with varying colors to create your piece. You guys are going to demonstrate your ability to create an image based on realism and focusing on detail and textures by drawing different things like scales, fur, feathers, etc. Okay? So we're going to start off by go ahead and reviewing the notes. We've done that a little bit. And I just want to say we spent all semester kind of focusing on abstract and bold ideas, bright colors, singular colors, varying tones. But now I want us to try our hands at something that a lot of people find uncomfortable, which is realism. It is a difficult art form because you're trying to mimic what we visually see. But for that purpose, the whole purpose of this is to challenge you guys and to push you outside of your comfort zone so you can create something real. So to begin, you're going to need to choose what subject or image you want to draw. That's going to be your favorite animal, or just one that you really want to draw. It doesn't have to be necessarily your favorite animal, but that's just to kind of brainstorm a little bit, okay? You're going to research your animal. You're going to look up ways to draw it, look up the different textures. So you guys are going to have to do some of your referencing on your own. I know you guys all have iPads. You guys all have phones. Go ahead, use the internet. It's a great source to find different textures, different animals, positions that you might want to draw the animals in. Poses always make art look a lot more realistic. And you're just going to really want to focus on really making this as detailed. So not just like an outer line, you want details. You want fur, you want eyes, you want snouts, you want scales, whatever your animal is. Detail is going to be key to this project, okay? So the more time you put into this, the more realistic and detailed your project will turn out to be. All right? Moving on, we're going to, before you guys even start on your final project, you're going to complete the texture practice animal features worksheet, okay? And there are some references and examples of textures that are found in the packet. We'll go ahead and scroll through that really fast before we finish this. So here are some just examples that I've put in there. You can use these for your worksheet and your project, and you're welcome to try your own style opposed to these. You don't have to use these. And just remember that we're aiming for realism. So do your best to stay true to the animal, okay? So this is just reptile scales, such as snakes, lizards, turtles, alligators, whatever. These are reptile scales. And you'll be looking through. You can just follow the step by step on how to go ahead and do these, okay? I've also got examples of how to draw fur and the different lighting that goes into them, okay? So you begin with the outer shape of the fur. You're going to determine the direction of light. It's often people put a little sun in the corner somewhere and go ahead and show where their light is coming from. So the light would come from this side, the shadow would be on this side. Then at that point, you're going to fill in the shadows between the individual hairs, okay? So you'd go in where the hair is going to be blocking out certain parts of light. You want to capture the direction that the hair is going in as well. And finally, you're going to finalize any shadows even further and make sure there's a variation in shading. So there should be a gradient of values in your piece. Remember, you guys are going to be doing this in color, unless your animal is black and white, like a panda or a penguin. Other than that, your animal should be colored, okay? And then here I have bumpy textures. This is just more for along the lines of animals that are like frogs or toads or newts, okay? They often have really bright and bold colors. Their skin is frequently assumed to be smooth and cartoon style, but if you look a lot closer, they have a lot of different colors. It's patterned, it's bumpy. And I put some examples in here just of different ones. So something you might see on a frog or a toad or a newt. These are some really great color patterns that you guys can try out, okay? And then we're gonna go down here, and then this is your worksheet. This is worth 10 points. You're gonna use it to complete your different textures. So you're gonna have fur, you're gonna have scales, you're gonna have feathers, and you're gonna have bumpy, okay? So these are the different textures. And I didn't put feathers as an example into here, just because there's so many different kinds of ways to draw feathers. So you guys can go ahead and do a little bit of research on your own. This does need to be colored as well, okay? So don't just do it in black and white. I want you guys to put as much detail and effort into this as you would into your final project, okay? So you'll complete this, the texture practice animal features, before you move on to your final project, okay? This should be done first. I shouldn't be getting final projects before I've received the texture practice, okay? So we'll go back, we'll look again at our outline. Here we go. And it says, so you'll complete the texture practice animal features worksheet. And there's references and examples, and you can also find the references and examples online. You'll then use a drawing paper, either one that you guys have at home if you're working at home. My in-person students, I will provide you with the same kind of paper that you use for your pop art project. You're gonna lightly sketch out your design, plan out your colors and your details before you draw too darkly. And yes, they need to be colored, okay? This does not have to be perfect. I don't expect everybody to have hyper realistic, totally accurate drawings. The whole goal of this project is to challenge yourself and try creating a piece of art that is outside of your comfort zone, unless some of you are comfortable with realism. But most people are not comfortable with realism. So that's why we're doing this, is I'm pushing you guys to step outside of your comfort zone and try something that you might not necessarily be used to working at. It's only by stepping outside of our box, guys, that we're going to be able to grow as artists, okay? So to become a better artist, you have to do some things that are not so comfortable. And that includes realism, okay? So it's a total of 40 points for the whole project. It's 10 points for your texture practice, and it's 30 points for your realistic animal drawing. You have 2 weeks to complete this, okay? That includes class time, time at home, and then if you have any assignments that you need to work on in the meantime, we are nearing the end of the semester. I do recommend that you guys work hard to get as much missing assignments in as possible. Check your grades, see what you guys need to get done, and turn stuff in, okay? Because the school year's wrapping up. We're getting close to the end. So if you have extra time, either in person in class or at home, make sure you're using the time wisely to get your projects and stuff caught up, because art is a required course at our school. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to jump over and I'm going to show you guys. Go ahead and show you guys our project. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show you guys our project. Here we go. Not our project, our Bellwork for this week. Sorry, had to find it for a second. So our Bellwork for week 13 is your favorite animals, okay? So you're gonna write this out. Tell me about it. What are your 3 favorite animals? Why do you like those ones? And what are some of their most noticeable characteristics? So these are physical characteristics that I'm looking for, you guys. Are they large? Are they furry? Are they covered in scales? Do they have big claws? What are their most noticeable characteristics for these 3 different animals? So tell me your 3 favorite animals, why you like those animals, and what are their most noticeable characteristics. Other than that, that is going to be your bell work. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, doing the lessons. I know that our schedules have been all crazy and out of whack, but we're working together, taking it one step at a time, okay? Let's do a good job. Work hard. I've seen some really great artwork from you guys, and let's just continue to do our best. Have a great day.